what she said was that they. What was do you remember the worker's name? Because I know most of them too. So I mean, what from which time? What case was that? Max? Sharon? I mean, what's her name? Not Sharon. Gutierrez?
Yeah, the lady. There was the lady.
Gutierrez. Huh? A lady and a guy. Remember Gutierrez. What's her name? Starts with H. Hannah. As a Hannah? She's saying that one of the social workers went. Did they warn you or they just showed up like out of nowhere? Auntie, see, look, she's doing it right now again.
The what?
Go to sleep, Auntie. I don't want to watch you do that. Like that's you just go to sleep or lay down. Try to go to sleep. Auntie, what did they do? Did they call her first, or they just showed up unexpectedly?
No, they would call.
Carissa?
Carissa, yeah.
Or you too? Or would they ever call you?
No, they would call Carissa.
Like, well, obviously, I know because I never talked about it really with you. But you obviously you had to sign some paperwork to even be around them. I'm talking about before, it's in the beginning, right? You had to have like your what do you call it? The standard, just called fingerprints, right?
Yeah.
So they went to the house to do a home visit to tell Carissa that they needed to make up their mind. And
anybody that wanted to be in the visit had to
go through a screening. That they had to hurry up and make a choice or decision to decide if she wanted to adopt the kids. Just like they told Leonard. I don't know if you know this. They told Leonard the same thing with Sky. Anyways.
Are you talking about the first time?
I'm talking about they did that with Leonard. But I'm talking about they did it with Carissa, with the kids. With Ariel, Max, and Kyle. Or, as you know him, Josiah, or Jojo, whatever my son's name is nowadays.
What is his middle name?
John. Kyle John, because he was born at 316. So they told Carissa, you need to pick, you need to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to adopt him? Because if not, how did she say it? Did she say rude, mean? Did she say cool?
No, she was nice. She was never really... I think we were just more upset that she was telling us there's a possibility of someone else adopting him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think, why we would say yes.
So kind of what they did,
she would really do.
So basically what they did kind of, in a sense, was not the same, because obviously it was different then, because it was a different law back then. But anyways, I don't want to get into that, because when me and Carissa, when us girls were with you guys, didn't they pull something like that with us? With you, they told you something similar? They're trying to separate us or some shit.
I don't remember. But they were trying to separate us.
When you
only gave you a few minutes. I remember that.
Yeah, when you had us, when we were young, we're little, and the social worker that had our case told you that they basically wanted to separate. Why did they want to separate us? Why were they trying to separate us girls?
The what?
The social in LA County, when you had us girls. Me, Carissa, and Lexi, and they came and told you that they were going to separate us or something? I don't remember. If you wanted to adopt us or something?
You mean when the social worker asked me if I would take Alexis too? If I didn't take Alexis, that they were going to put her for adoption?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah, what I was trying to figure out is why they told you that. Why would they say that?
And well, at first I didn't think I could do it, but then when you told me, how come? Why is it you don't want my little sister, but you took us?
Mm-hmm.
I know, because I cried.
No, because I seen my mom. Because I remember my mom was outside. My mom was outside, wasn't she? When they took Lexi from her, I remember that day because I was watching my mom from the window from your house. I was watching my mom fucking break down crying. It's hysterical, freaking out because they just took her baby, but she was outside. And I remember them because it was commotion, and I was little, but I still was smart, and I caught on, and I heard her say something like,
"But you see, the social worker was just waiting for your mother to have Alexis."
These people are so
so that they could take her.
Yeah, but that's
Okay,
yeah, I know.
and that's why they were.
They're just
The
waiting.
social worker was asking me, telling me, would I take her to?
Yeah, I remember. I was
But I
there.
didn't. I honestly, I didn't think that I could do it because I was still working.
Yeah.
Had you guys, but when you told me, how come you don't want to take my little baby sister and you took us?
Uh-huh.
And that is really what broke me down. And I told the social worker, okay, I will take Alexis. And so they were waiting for your mother to have her. And then after she had her, 3 days later, they brought her to me.
But I don't know if it's the same. I don't remember if it's the same time or the same day. But I remember something about, like, more or less. I remember because Auntie was freaking out, or you were like arguing with the guy. There was a guy or something, and you were telling him like, "Oh, hell no! Like you're not gonna separate them, or you're not gonna take." Yeah, something about they wanted to separate us or something.
Yeah.
But for what? For what? Why did they want to do that?
But you guys were with me already.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out why would they want us? What was the reasoning for them coming in and saying that to you guys?
There was no really reason that I know of why they were waiting to take Alexis, other than
Because they get paid more. That's why. That's crazy.
DPS. That's what they want to do.
But they asked you, do you want to take Alexis? And
They did. The worker asked me. She kept asking me. They were just waiting, for Sylvia to have the baby, and then they were gonna take her away.
And this is before This is before she even had her.
What?
This is before she even was born.
This was before she had her. Yeah.
Wow,
She
that's
kept asking me and asking me.
That's crazy. That's what. Okay. So anyway, so that's similar to what they did to Carissa, but what they did was more. They basically forced her. It's called coerced.
Coerced, yeah.
When you basically like put it on somebody, like you're forcing them to make a decision or else.
Huh?
It's like in law, in like legalese and terms, when
it's like you're forcing them to
you're making terms, you're giving terms and conditions to somebody, but you're telling them you either abide by these terms and conditions or else this and that.
This is gonna happen.
Well, it got to that. Either that.
So they told her, if you don't choose to adopt the kids, we're gonna place them with a stranger somewhere else.
Yeah, but I told them I did not want to adopt any of your kids because of reasons that I had because of your dad and Alexis.
And that was right, and you have the right
to me. I was safer with you guys being still in the
family.
What is it on the the whatever they call
plan,
the courts.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that they did not make me adopt you guys. And they did not take you guys to vote you guys for adoption.
Well, I just to let you know why they didn't do that. I said I'm gonna tell you real fast. I'm gonna answer you why they didn't do that.
Why?
Because back then, at that particular time, it was right before the Clintons. They created a law. Is why I went through what I went through, and why my kids are adopted is because before. When me, Chris, and Lexi were in the system, they couldn't do that. They could not terminate the rights like they do now because it was not a law. Because back then, they had to do everything to work with the parents.
I guess so. There was.
But that's why I never knew all this. See, these are things I never knew. I didn't know any of this because no one told me. I mean, you guys told me a little brief, like, oh yeah, they came and what. But as far as if you guys would have talked to me, you guys would have been able to understand that. They were just trying to intimidate you, and I would have at least never have gotten my parental rights terminated to where I'm never going to be able to be their mom like I wanted to be, because you guys were too scared to
But you know, it also depends on the social worker.
Yeah, that too. Because they're not all bad.
The social worker that I had
Well, she
when
was
I
good.
had you guys,
She was nice, yeah.
she said, you know, I wish there would be more,
Hmm.
as I was considered foster parent.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I
Like
might.
You,
Hmm. It sounds crazy, but you know what? I honestly.
I don't know.
Could you imagine me being a social worker and being the one that like gets all the kids back with their parents?
Oh.
That'd be cool. But yeah, so that's what happened. So I was just trying
All
to
I
figure
can
out.
say, God's hand was in everything.
Yeah. But it's not. It's not. I people tend to think that it's just easy for me to just be okay with everything that's happened. No, I'm not okay. So when I'm seeing like things that I've seen when I was little, I don't want my kids to see that. I don't like. I myself, and I appreciate it. You guys don't have to, this is not your, I don't have to, not that I don't have to, I'm saying like, you shouldn't have to have me come here and with whatever bag, I don't have nothing. I came with one bag, but, the baggage that I've came with, whatever, during my little struggles or whatever, is not something that, and I appreciate you taking me in, or even giving me a place to even get, if I needed it, if I needed to sleep, or if I needed to eat, because I was having so it's like, but I don't know, I just think I just it's a little too much for me to watch my aunt over here be so, well, to me she looks loaded, and whether it's like right terminology, that's what you look like, that's what you're acting like. So for me to know that you're, as far as I knew, because I'm not always around and I don't know, obviously I don't know what is actually going on, but from my knowledge, I thought you were always around my kids. But now that I know that there has been a mediation meeting or whatever, intervention, that, who told you this, Carissa or Lexi?
Carissa.
Who was there?
Well, we had the intervention. Everybody was there.
Who's everybody?
All the cousins: Chris, Carissa, Lexi, Auntie Serena, Paulina.
Rochelle there?
No.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah. So I mean,
they were all there.
Well, okay, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate them doing that, because I really do. I really appreciate that, because I'm telling you that really. That one really bothered me to think or know that my kids did see you like that. They no. And I'm not trying to be mean, like in a sense, like I don't give a fuck about you. I'm just saying, like, I just think that's it's just crazy, because I don't understand that. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't understand like how everything has transpired with me, but it's a different story because it's you. Like, but
it's not no different story.
But okay, whatever. But okay, so at least I feel better and I feel safer now, because I worry about my kids, and I worry about certain things. So I've been when I was living here before I moved in with Jay, I would be very concerned knowing that you were going to go over there and take care of my kids, all fucking high and on new pills.
I was not all fucking high when I went to take care of your
Auntie,
kids.
you crashed into was it a diesel car? What do you mean you weren't high?
You guys all think because I had an accident it has to do with the drugs? People have accidents.
Auntie. Unless you are.
He and I talked about it, and he said he and I were both at fault because we both looked over our shoulders. He wasn't there.
Okay.
And so he said, let's both just take care of our own cars.
Okay, cool. So are you telling me that you don't think, I'm not going to put words into your mouth, but I'm just asking. And whether you say yes or no, that's cool. I'm not going to say, oh, well, you have to think this. Do you honestly believe that you don't have a problem? Yes or no? Just simple. Yes or no? Or let me rephrase it. When like we tell you, or when they told you all that and they had the meeting, whatever,
yes.
Were you offended, or did you feel
I wasn't offended,
bad?
But it's a pattern, because when I'm not going through stress or losing the car or losing